So when a person dies, their loved ones are grieving their loss, and that's often compounded by being overwhelmed with wrapping up that deceased person's affairs. And that's especially true if you are appointed as the executor of your loved one's estate. That means you're the one empowered to seek the admission of the will to probate with the court, go about collecting any assets, and eventually making distributions of the estate. So when potential clients come to us, they often don't know where to begin. So here are some tips, kind of for some first steps, really even before you get appointed as the executor. So if you are the executor under the will and you're aware of that, make sure you identify and safeguard the original will as soon as possible. The original will is going to be needed for probate, which is the court process where the will is validated and implemented. And while it's not insurmountable to get probate without the original will, it's more difficult and costly to do so. So if you've already searched through your loved one's personal effects and you can't locate the original will, see if you can locate the name of the attorney who prepared it, and see if they're storing it, because that's a common practice. When someone passes away, you may start to hear from creditors like credit card companies or medical providers and asking about delinquent bills. And you don't have to promise to pay them right off the bat. You can say, this person just passed away and, there's no executor appointed yet, and just take down their information so you can reach out later. You're going to want to make sure that that claim is valid before you pay anything. If you make any expenditures related to the estate, even before you're appointed, just make sure you keep track of everything. You can be reimbursed for certain items, and those can add up. So make sure that you have a record of that, because in the end, you may have to be answerable to other beneficiaries wondering, why did you reimburse yourself for this or that? So just make sure you keep records with receipts, invoices, anything relevant. It's also important to keep track of not only financial transactions, but the person's stuff. That is one of the biggest things that people fight over after someone dies. The photo album, even furniture, jewelry, things that you would never guess at sometimes. So right after someone dies is not the time to go through the house, fill up the garbage bags, get the dumpster, wait to do that, especially if the will directs that the tangible items be distributed amongst multiple people. You're going to want to ideally get their input on what happens to those items. If you're concerned that someone might challenge the will, you need to act quickly. So in New Jersey, you can't have a will admitted to probate until 10 days after someone passes away. And once you probate it, you start a clock against which someone has to challenge the will. So quickly attending to probate is not going to necessarily stop a will challenge, but at least someone can get appointed as the executor and start the clock on any contest. Here at Mandelbaum Barrett, we help people all the time with estate administration. We know it's overwhelming, but we're able to break it down into pieces and steps so that you can grieve your loved one and have assistance with the difficult tasks of administering their estate.